I want to have a serious discussion with you guys today, and it's around the secondary market of flesh and blood and the products that are out there. And I know, I know you guys are not going to like this. You're probably not going to like me saying this, but I'm going to tell you how it is. That I think, in my opinion, as a normal guy in a normal room, not investment advice, that any product out there for flesh and blood is investable and has monetary value and can appreciate over the short to long term in any which way is possible. But I really think that anything out there, any product, the promos, unlimited, you've got any type of thing out there, the commons, the rainbow foils, anything out there, even the booster pack wrappers, the extra wrapping that's on the booster box, anything out there is an investable type thing, and it could have monetary value long term. And I know this is just my opinion, and I'll make a beginning little story for you to kind of hash out how this is. But man, I know that people aren't going to like me saying this, and you're going to say, Bronson, the player's got to have something. What the heck? But I don't want people to take information I have or other people's and just form a perception in their mind that something isn't of value. And then news comes out later, and then that thing increases, and then you're going to be stuck with the thought of, wow, I was going to buy this thing, but Bronson told me not to, or I was going to buy this product of flesh and blood, but they told me that this product was for the players, or this product was never going to see the light of day in the sun in the secondary market. And it's unfortunate, and at the end of the day, the whole counterpoint to this is you're an adult. You can decide what you want to do with your money, man. You can decide what thoughts you want to ascribe to in life in your own brain. You don't have to take other people's opinions. And I implore you, please think for yourself. Don't just take everything I'm saying ever and just believe in it. You got to think for yourself in life, and we all make our own decisions, and that's how it goes out. It's no big deal. But I think there's just going to be a lot of instances like the story I'm going to say in the future, and it's gonna be upsetting. So, uh, I made a video. I think it was about a month ago. Right now, it's about how content creators and social influencers should think about how they interact with the public when talking about financial stuff like this. And one of my viewers said, Bronson, I've been listening to you a long time. I'm subscribing to you now. I totally like this message, and I'll put a link down below to that video. But basically, their story was really sad, and what it was is, back in the day, they had a buying opportunity where they wanted to buy a rainbow foil enlightened strike for, I think it was $90. They said $90 for a rainbow foil enlightened strike from Alpha. Welcome to Wrath, and they decided not to because they said, hey, they talked to they didn't talk to, they listened to somebody on YouTube or on some platform, these people who were talking about the card prices, and when Unlimited was going to come out, then the Welcome to Wrath Alpha set was just going to plummet, and they're going to have cheaper cards available. So the Alpha Enlightened Strike Rainbow Foil wasn't going to be as valuable, and they were upset because, as you all know now, as time destroys all things, what happened is the Unlimited set came out, but then all the money went back into Alpha, and that E strike went up a lot of times, and that person wasn't able to purchase the E strike. They ultimately had to buy the unlimited one, and they were not really happy because they took advice from someone else online, and it just didn't serve them well. But at the end of the day, we all have to make our own decisions. And I know you might think, well, Bronson, that's an isolated incident. That doesn't happen very often. But I'm going to tell you that it happens a lot. It happens a ton. It happens to a lot of people. It's happened to me. And it happens to a lot of other people who really don't want to admit it at the end of the day. And that's what's sad. And another big example of how a lot of people played this wrong was Crucible War booster boxes. And I'm not talking about in 2021. I'm not talking about, the spike that happened recently or anything that happened, in 2021. I'm talking about 2020, man. I'm talking about like October and stuff like that when Crucible War booster boxes were going for $90 a piece. And the thing that made a lot of people skittish and a lot of people like, yeah, I don't know if I want to do this, is that there was a thing that was released where it looked like the print run of Crucible War had been increased to, I think double or a little less than double, who knows, of what Welcome to Wrath and Arcane Rising was. And that got people really, really skittish and saying, hey, I don't want that. That's not going to appreciate. It's a supplemental set. Nobody cares about this supplemental set. It's going to stay stocked forever. And there's so many voices on the Wall Street group of the Discord and a bunch of other places that just they were naysaying of Crucible War. And I thought the same thing at the time. I didn't think it was gonna go up, man. It was $90 a box, and lo and behold, we're sitting here. I mean, 5, 6 months later. I think only 5 months later, and the box that was $90 is now, are sitting around 700, 800, 900. That that range, give or take. And you got to remember that perception is everything in life, and what you perceive in your brain of what things are is really what drives want and need for it. And these big market swings, it's just a little bit comical and a little bit ridiculous on the secondary market currently of Flesh and Blood. Like there's a growing trend that I see where there's some sort of news that happens that just increases the value for some product, and then everybody just dog piles on that. It's just like everybody has their credit card in hand waiting to like, what do I dog pile on next? What do I just, leap onto and just talk about that next? And oh yeah, I knew that was gonna spike eventually. Oh, I knew Crucible War. All these people make all these things of how they, had hindsight and that they knew exactly what was going on, but a lot of people don't know what's going on, man. I'm telling you straight up too. I don't tell you that I'm some financial guru and I've made like thousands of dollars in my big mansion. I'm telling you I'm a normal guy in a normal room. I'm just doing what I think, and you guys are doing what you think. But to just reiterate what my point of this topic is, I know I'm rambling on a lot, is that you need to really back up and think everything in Flesh and Blood, all the products can be investable. And you have to think, what is the thing that I want to put my money into if you want to do that. But there's a lot of perceptions that you may have on certain things that are going to change over time. And to find really good things now, you know, I guess you just have to, do your level best. And I'm not going to give you any like, foolproof plan, but I just don't want anyone in the future to tell me, "Hey Bronson, I was going to do this, but then you told me that this was for the players or this was for, this group of people and you said there's no money in this and now look what happened." Cuz I'm a big proponent of me being wrong. And I've told you in the past, man, there's a video too where I talk about Shiana, and it was $500 upon release of Crucible War, and I was like, that is overpriced. Who wants to play that? Who wants to play that hero for like $500? And I don't even like the ability. The ability's stupid, or I just didn't think it was is very powerful at the time. I didn't like the hero, man, but not only that, I just thought like Legend Story Studios was going to reprint that hero in a like rainbow foil format or stuff like that. So I didn't think it was going to be that desirable. But now it's sitting at like $3,500. So I was wrong. But at the end of the day, you had your own thoughts, and you could decide what you want in life. But I never want to do that in the future to people. And I think there's a lot of things personally, and I don't want to get into specifics, but I think there's a lot of products out there for Flesh and Blood currently that really could spike and that really could have potential. And not a lot of people are talking about it. And when people do talk about them, they think, "Oh no, this isn't an investment here. This isn't something that's going to appreciate. More of this stuff is going to be printed. It's going to be printed, printed, printed all this time, so people are going to get the product, and this is not a thing." But I'm telling you that everything's a thing. And I hope you respect that. And I know that this isn't what you want to hear. I know you're saying, Bronson, I've gone through so many months of people talking about investment stuff. I know, man, and I've definitely been, the big thing of that, and I just think that people are gonna be really off guard, and I did stop, ultimately, and I know this is pretty late in the video, like, I did ultimately stop talking about the secondary market in specific numbers and putting, different price tags on different items and telling you what it's gonna do long term because I don't know, and I've been wrong in the past, and I didn't want to put that out there because sometimes things change. Sometimes new information comes to light that we didn't know, and that new information just changes your perception so much. It just changes the game, man. It's just it's so weird. It's like when we heard about the Crucible War Unlimited not being printed, right? That was a game changer for that box. And then the box just spiked, and that one little nugget of information that no crew unlimited, that just changed the game for Crucible of War Alpha. And and they said no crew unlimited in 2021 is was what I want to emphasize. I definitely think crew unlimited is going to happen. I've said that from the beginning, and they did announce that they have it on their site, crew unlimited in the collector's center, so it's going to come. It's just in the interim, in the short run, there ain't much crew out there. So I think that I don't know what else to say. I mean, one thing I want to show you too, and I have a meme about this, but it's like these booster pack wrappers, and um I really want to give a shout out to one of my viewers who's really nice, man. He saw my booster pack wrapper commentary, and he said, "Hey Bronson, you want some wrappers? I'll give them to you for free." And that was really nice, and I hooked him up with a little bit of cash for his troubles. But yeah, he gave me Alpha Welcome to Wrath booster pack wrappers, and it looks awesome. I'm so happy. I know it's very silly, but I love the wrappers, and I think it would be cool to have like an Alpha wrapper of each one and put them in something, and maybe get like a graded wrapper. I don't know if they do that, but that would be that would be so much fun, just to for kicks. And I know that this might seem weird to you, and I know this might seem like I'm just trolling, and I am for the most part. And the whole purpose of me doing this rapper thing is I I think that it's something that people aren't talking about. I think that these rappers over time, there's definitely going to be some sort of market eventually for them. And even for just people scamming, unfortunately. And I don't want to sell to a scammer. I'm going to do my best, level best to not do that. But I'm telling you that, even this type of thing that people are constantly throwing out. And if you ask someone, hey, what do you think the EV of this wrapper is? They're going to think that you're a moron. Don't buy into that perception. Don't buy into people knocking you down for your opinions on different products. You have to do your own due diligence, of course, and you could be wrong, of course, but there's a lot of things out there. We'll just take this for instance, that people naysay and people don't think ever could go up. They don't think they could ever rise in price. They don't think it could ever do anything. But the thing with my type of thing, when I'm a collector, I try to look at things as unbiased as possible. I try to take a fresh look and look at things for the first time and say, hey, what is this product? Do I feel warm in the heart area for owning this? Is this a special type thing to me? And booster rappers kind of are, because man, this is like the first rapper of Flesh and Blood. Like I know that's weird, but and hey, I mean, it's already happened with the rappers. I mean, I've seen a couple of deals on eBay where they've sold 24 rappers in the box for Flesh and Blood for Alpha for like 75 bucks. so so all the garbage for the cards, all the wrapping paid for the initial price of the box, which is which is just unreal, man. And that's something else. Like if you told somebody in 2019 in June, hey, do you want to buy my wrapper for $3? They'd look at you like, What are you talking? You want me to pay $3 for your for your wrappers? No, that's a ripoff. What are you trying to do to me, man? And there's no way those things, throw that thing in the trash. What are you doing with that wrapper? Throw it in the trash. And they would have been wrong. you know, it's just it's just very interesting to me. And another topic I want to delve into now is really the aspect of this. And the main driver of people's perceptions, I feel, are too short run. They're too short term oriented. They're trying to just think about what's going to happen in the next, the 3 weeks to 2 months. It's never long term, and I want to harp on that. You need to think long term. And when I say that, I say, Legend Story Studios is, I don't know, a 20-person operation in New Zealand who are worldwide and doing like big things on TCG Player and now all these big sites, CFB and whatnot, and their products are selling out like hotcakes. You have to remember that they are very small. It is a small operation in a large scale. So they are going to last a very long as they don't get touched by any big corporations or as long as no big entity comes out and buys them out for something, they are going to last a long time. And from that, from lasting a long time, they're going to produce a long amount of products. So we know, at least over the next course of 5 years, right? And when they do that, there's going to be a lot more products on the market. There's going to be a lot more people into the game, and the original stuff is going to be worth money because people don't have as much of it. There's something called attrition that's very big. What's the attrition on a wrapper like this? How many of these wrappers? What percentage of these wrappers were thrown out? Do you think it's like 97%? Who knows? But all this is, there's attrition on many other things, like the Welcome to Wrath alpha booster box. How many of those have been opened? How many of those remain sealed? I mean, as time moves on, the supply gets less and less and less and less. And even still, if you have something and it's not really valuable at the time, as time moves on, if you just literally like throw it in a box like this and just put it in the side of your room underneath your bed and you don't care about it, and then randomly one day you find it under your bed, you know that might not be a bad idea. And it's like your little squirrel hiding your nuts for a better day. And it's just the long-term aspect is how I like to think of things, because I do truly think that this game has extreme amount of potential. Extreme. And I think that it will last a very long time, and it's going to be doing amazing things, especially, coming up. There's a lot of hype, and I just really respect the company. I really love the community. I love the cards. I love playing the game, the lore, artwork, everything. It just has the full package, man. And when you have that beautiful, beautiful thing in front of your face and you realize that it's going to do something, you really got to look at the long term and think, okay, this might not be valuable now, but will people care in the future? And not only is there attrition that will reduce the amount of supply, but you've also got market share. And if you look at how many people are in the Flesh and Blood community, there aren't that many people. I mean, the Reddit group, I think, as of today's what is it, March 7th. There's like 3,500 people in the Reddit, and I know that doesn't really account for everyone, and I'm sure, the Facebook group is a little bit bigger, possibly. But the whole point of it is, as this game snowballs and snowballs, it is going to get a huge amount of market, which is going to drive even more money into the game, which is going to, make these things that you could say, oh, well, 2,000 cards in a market that's like 3,000 people, just an example, is not that bad. But when you have 2,000 cards of a print run, and the market is 200,000 people, well, that 2,000 cards is a lot. There's not enough of those cards to go around. And again, that's just an example, but the point I'm making is the supply may be fixed, but the amount of demand is gonna increase over time with the market share. So there's just so much long term. Again, with attrition, the two main things I just talked about, attrition and market share increasing over time, these products and things that you may not think have any legs could have a great amount of legs. They could have really nice ass legs, and you're just letting it pass you by. You're letting those sweet ass legs pass you by because you're listening to other people out there, and they're telling you that those legs don't exist. But you've got to rub off your eyes a little bit and realize, hey, yeah, maybe there's thick ass legs out there, man. So, um, yeah, and again, I just want to recap at the end. Appreciate you listening this far. I'm just being really serious here. Is that this is important? I and many other people in the past have thought one way because we listened to other people or we took different opinions and we had perceptions because we just listened to what people said and we didn't really question. There was no questioning about it, and sometimes it's no big deal because the thing is we didn't have the information we had at the time. And that was the big driver is people make opinions for whatever time period that they are in, and they don't have information that's going to come out in the future. I mean, and when that information comes out, things happen. So I just want everyone to be safe out there. Ultimately as well, I put a lot of money in Flesh and Blood, but I never leverage myself to where if everything goes to zero or everything does something, I don't put myself at risk. If my collection becomes to where I can't sell it, it's no big deal. I'll be happy with what I have. I'll be doing great in life, man. It's no big deal. I'll still have my same lifestyle, but I just want to urge you to at the end to just play responsibly in a way. Um, I it's always don't do stupid stuff. But anyway, um, yeah. Overall, man, I'm just I'm just really excited for the game. I'm excited for the long term, and I don't really care too much about what stuff does in the long term. It does what it does, but I'm just here telling you that if you've listened to anything that I have said in the past of different products being investable or not, or if different products could go up or down, know that I have a high degree of being wrong, and I'm just a normal guy in a normal room and not giving investment advice. But also other people that you've listened to too, maybe they haven't grasped the full picture. Maybe they don't have information that they needed to actually give you a good information out there, man. So, because as we've seen so many different times in the past with Flesh and Blood, different things come out, and everyone has naysayed a certain product or a certain thing so many times, and then ultimately, like this, like literally like this, that product or thing just jumps in value insane amount, and then everyone just jumps on the bandwagon and says, "Oh, well, I knew that was the next big thing," and hindsight's 2020, man. So anyway, thanks for watching. Be safe, and again, uh, try to question things and think through and make your own opinions because there's a lot of fun things in store for Flesh and Blood, I'm sure. All right. Thanks.